New player division action now, and a big one. This is the match of the round. It's Rocky Mendes at the top of the screen on 56 points against McCarty at the bottom on 61. The big difference here, Rocky has a game in hand, so he has all the momentum, and it looks like he's on the deck. Will's on the deck I've been testing, which is mono black control. He's up against green black counters. Rocky, if Rocky can take points here, it's going to be absolutely massive for the shake-up of this division, because particularly because it would give him the lead, and then he's even on games and he can extend that further. But you can see the Chupacabra is going to take away the Gifted Etherborn, which was helping Will gain life. He's got two Khans. The second one in hand is kind of awkward. Treasure Map is a good synergy with Khan. Personally, when I've been testing this mono black, I've taken Khan and Treasure Map out because I think it's just a bit. You can see here it's just too slow. There's no board presence against, particularly in standard against these aggressive decks. Well, he's going to get a bit of a bonus there because he's traded a Ballista for a Khan that was going to die anyway when he's got Khan in his hand. He decides to go the Treasure Map. Death Shade is a good one. It's going to hold up a lot of these creatures. It's going to be able to block Chupacabra and Constrictor without having to tap. So Glennsleeve Siphoner has Menace, so nothing you can do about that. So sending the Chupacabra. So this is a kind of telegraphing here. I've got Fatal Push. And Will does not fall for it. As he gets a second Siphon, he's got 5 energy, so he's going to be able to draw 2 cards next turn. Okay, he didn't have Fatal Push, he had Ballista, which kind of is the same. He ships that Dredge Shade, so he's going to take a... I think he wanted to scry there, but it's a bit late. And that's both good pickups. You can see Rocky gave him the Vraska's Contempt because he can't play it this turn. So Dredge Shade has to hang back on defense. Those two Glennsleeve Siphoners have Menace, so they can't be blocked, so there's 4 points coming through at least. And then there's that awkward Ballista, so he can pump the Dredge Shade to a 5, and he's got something like the Chupacabra covered, but it would force the Ballista to spend 4 mana to go to a 3 and get rid of that Dredge Shade. So you can see the consequence of not doing that there. It enables Rocky to play the Jade Light Ranger, whereas if he had gone for the trade, he wouldn't be able to do that. Now, I think you've got to take down... He's going to lose his Treasure Map if he doesn't take something down here. Got to take down the Thrashing Brontodon, or he went for something else instead. Do you want that Treasure Map? He does. So just in time, because Rocky was tapped out then, so he couldn't sacrifice the Brontodon in response to take down the Treasure Map. So even though Will's out of cards, he's going to be able to draw. But there's a lot of pressure coming through. This is 4, 7, 9 damage. You can see here the Dredge Shade, and I might as well send the Ballista. So Rocky getting super aggressive. Dredge Shade can't pump, so Ballista's going to lose a counter here to finish off the Dredge Shade. Oh, actually I forgot about the treasure tokens. So he's going to have to lose 2 treasure tokens to protect from the Ballista. And what he actually got out of that is a... the Ballista could not attack, and also Rocky had to use a Fatal Push to send the rest of the damage through. There's still lethal on board though, 7 life, but there's 7, 9, 12 damage on board, so he needs something huge here. Treasure Map is not it. He's going to get one more look. Swamp is not it. I would have actually plussed Khan first, but yeah, we're going to game 2. Just too much board pressure there. Mono Black is actually pretty well set up to deal with these sort of decks because it has a lot of removal. Again, like I mentioned, I'm not a huge fan of Khan in this build. It's just too slow. You could see it there. He was getting card draw, meanwhile the opponent is doing stuff. In my build, I main deck 2 Argyl's Bloodfast, which has been pretty good so far. But this looks like a much better turn here from, much better game and start from Will, who's got a Vraska's Contempt to control the board. You can see Rocky's threats are not that fantastic, just a bunch of 2/2s. I don't think you want that swamp. I would have been tempted to take it. Now this is a really good draw. Phyrexian Scriptures is going to wipe this board. Put the counter on, he can get in here, get some life, and these creatures are going to die, so it means that Rocky can't play any creature this turn. So you can see the Vraska's Relic Seeker is going to have to take down the Aetherborn, and it's going to wipe the board. But he does have the Vraska's Contempt, so it's a pretty clean answer to the Relic Seeker. As the Treasure Cove flips, he's going to be able to draw some cards. A second Vraska's Contempt, that could be a problem here. No, Vraska's Relic Seeker, sorry, Planeswalker. What he needs is a second Vraska's Contempt. And this is going to be huge. This is one advantage of the treasure map, is that it enables you to cast these huge threats much faster. So Josu Vest, that's actually lethal on board there. Eight of them that all have Menace, so he needs 2 blockers just to block 1. So if he doesn't have a sweeper here, we're basically going to game 3. And he doesn't, so we're about to have game 3 now. Yeah, Rocky gets the point, so I think you ship that one. That's a pretty bad one as well. He's forced to keep a 1-lander here. You can see if he can find the second land, which he can't, he's got Aetherborns and a treasure map. A treasure map will certainly help him fix that. That's what he gets. But he's kind of forced here to scry in the upkeep with the treasure map, so he can't play the Aetherborn here. So he ships Khan pretty quickly. Just get rid of that Constrictor. On the bright side, Rocky does only have 2 cards in hand. 1 card in hand now, so there is a chance for... What is it? He's going to get a nothing as a Chupacabra. There's a chance to stabilize, but he has to sort of do it pretty quickly here. 5 damage coming through. Now, he can plus one of those ballistas, put 4 counters, and get rid of one, and of course the Chupacabra is going to get rid of the other Aetherborn. So he just maintains the board presence. He's at 9, which is pretty dangerous here. I don't think I would have gone for Khan then. I would have much preferred a Vraska's Contempt to gain some life, or a Josu Vest, which would have adequately checked both of those. He's gone for the blocker, but you can see here the Vraska's Contempt is going to remove the blocker, so this is pretty tough going now. I think that's going to be a turn short. He's a point short. Oh, he can put a blocker on, get a Phyrexian Scripture. That's the play. He's got a minus Khan. He's just dead. Oh no, because he got the life. Okay, so Fatal push to remove the blocker. That's he's going to push through 5 damage here. Actually, Ballista can just shoot him for the rest. And so the game goes on to Modern now, where it looks like Will is on Dredge for this one. Faithless leading is a good one here, particularly when you've got a prized amalgam in hand. Life from the loam and amalgam goes to the graveyard. Rocky on a Wooded Foothills, we'll see what he's on here. Blood Crypt. Bloodstained Mire. Okay. Goblin Law, it means he's on Hollowone. And just like that, there's a 4-4 on turn 2. This is an interesting one. I'm not really sure who's favoured between Dredge and Hollowone. Hollowone is another Goblin Law. Hollowone probably has, oh, he's going to get a Flame Lake Phoenix back here, so there's 6 damage coming across. I'd imagine he's probably got Leyline of the Voids coming in from the sideboard. I don't know if Dredge plays its own any sort of graveyard hate. So here's a Conflagrates. This is just going to control the board. Has to get rid of his hand in order to play it. But things are clear for now. This is the 3rd Goblin Law of the match. You can see Rocky's up to 19 cards in his grave now. 20. He's he's rivaling Dredge for the amount of cards in the grave. And just like that, after you can see 6 triggers on the stack there. A whole heap of pressure coming back here from Will. After he discarded his hand to get the life from the to get the Conflagrate to clear the board, it's straight back to how it was before. He's on 9. So I believe Narcomoeba can check that Flamewake Phoenix. And just as I say that, there's a Collective Brutality to take down a Narcomoeba. There's a second, is that lethal? It's a point short of lethal, so, and Lightning Bolt will get the job, so we're going to do the job, so we're going to game 2. Rocky on a roll here after he took Standard 2 games to 1. He's up a game in Modern in a crucial match. In terms of live scores, he's now equal on points with Will. This red-black Hollowone deck has actually been pretty popular. I've seen it a fair bit in the leagues this season. If you read the articles online, it is generally considered one of the top 5 decks in the format. Nice play there, Lightning Axe on the Hollowone, discarding Bloodghast to get it back with the Bloodstained Mire and to also trigger the prized Amalgam. So Bloodghast on the other side. Torpor Orb, I'm not really sure about that one. Yeah, but that Lava Axe is really good against this Hollowone deck. You can see no land there, no second land for Will, so he can't get back a Bloodghast. But nothing going on. So 5 on the other side. 6 power. This is going to gain him some life. This is only a stopgap. He's going to play the Flameblade Adept instead. But this is really ugly. I think we're going to game 3. Needs something right now. Tries to find it with Faithless leading. He needs a blocker for that prized amalgam. And he doesn't get it, so we're going to game 3. Will is facing a sweep here, so he's got to win this match. Or 2 prized amalgams in the... Oh, he's going to go to Stinkweed Imp. Okay. Here's Goblin Lord that's going to pump that Flame Blade to 4 power. Down to 14, so he needs to get that amalgam back this turn. You can see he's got a Nature's Claim in hand there, so I'm guessing he was expecting something like a Leyline of the Void from the sideboard. But he's taking a beating here from Flameblade Adept. More pumps coming, so this is 4-6. It's a 2-turn clock as it stands. If he can, he's got the Flamewake Phoenix. 4-6-8. Needs something right now, or he's dead. Is he just dead? I think so. Yep, and unfortunately they didn't get Legacy, but Rocky also took Legacy to get the clean sweep, so 12 points to 2.